Hi, today we're going to look at add, subtract, and multiplying complex numbers. We have already done this using the TI-84. We want to do it without the TI-84 to get more understanding. One thing that we have to know that we can able to add orange plus orange. The same thing we can able to subtract, add variables of items. The same thing here, which the complex number coming with an imaginary I, we can also add them and subtract them. So moving forward, we have to be aware of that. And now we also have to know our fractional signs, which is a negative times negative is equals to positive, and negative times positive give us negative, and then positive times positive give us positive. So we have to know this as we are moving forward. We have been given these two separate terms here that we want to combine like terms. First of all, we have to be able to remove the parentheses. So we are going to go ahead and remove the parentheses. The first one, there is a positive, so we just do away with the parentheses and just write the numbers as we see it. And here too, we look at here is positive, and the positive doesn't cause any change. It's negative that normally cause changes. So here we'll just rewrite this as over there. So plus 10, and here plus 7i. Now we have to combine like terms. So this and this coming together. Look at the front, it's positive, so they become 15. Look at this and this. Here in front of the 3 is negative, and here is positive. The positive is bigger. So 7 minus 3 is 5, so it's plus 5i, and we are done. All right, we have this complex to compute. So first of all, let's go ahead and remove the parentheses. Here, the in front here is plus. So because of that, nothing is going to change. We just rewrite whatever we see here in the first parenthesis. And here the front here is negative, and that is why it's going to cause change. So this negative times this here, there's no number, so it's positive. And we said that negative times positive is negative, so here it's going to be -2. And then this again goes over here. Negative times negative give us positive, so it's going to be plus 3i. Now we are combining like terms. 3, positive 3, and -2. The positive is bigger, so the results will be positive, so it's going to be 1. Here, all of them are positive, so we add them together, we got positive 7i. So we got 7 plus 1 plus 7i as a final answer. Okay, so we have these 3 separate terms. So let's go ahead and remove the parentheses. So here it's positive here. So nothing is going to change here. So we got 2 minus 3i. Here is negative. It's going to cause a lot of changes. So negative times negative become positive. So 5. And negative times positive become -8i. Here is negative. So negative times positive become -2. And then negative times positive become negative. So -5. So we are combining numbers. We are combining the constant, this and this and that of the items. But here we have equal, so this turn into 0. So we have 5 here, and then here that all of them are negative. So we just add them and then give it negative. So negative, and then we add it. So we got this give us -11. And then -16, so we got -16i with the final answer 5 minus 16i. All right, so we are looking at multiplication here. There's nothing in between the parentheses, so it's supposed to be multiplication. When we are multiplying, we are going to need the I squared is going to come in there, and I squared is -1, and I squared is a real number. We have to know that on top of all that we did from the beginning to will come in place here. So first of all, we are applying what we call the FOIL, or it kind of, we are setting up a distribution. So we take this and it multiplies this. Multiply 3 plus 6i. And then we take this one and also multiply the same stuff here. So we bring the plus 2i, and then it multiply the 3 plus 6i. Now we set our distribution 5 times 3, which is 15, then 5 times 6, which is 30, and I. You're done with this one. You move on here, you multiply this, and you get 6i. Here, this is where the I, so the I squared is going to come. So here we get 12i squared. We realize that this is the middle two is of like terms. So first we write it plus 36. So we combine it, 36i, and here plus 12. But we know that the I squared is -1, so it's going to be -1. So we got 15 plus 36i, and then positive times negative become negative, so -12. And now what is happening is that we can bring this one closer to here because of all of them are constant. So 15 minus 12 plus 36i, and that gives us 3 plus 36i as a final answer. And so we have this one also to multiply. So first of all, we set it up. You take 7 and it multiplies 4 minus 3i. We bring our plus 5, so plus 5i, and it also multiply the same second parenthesis. And now we distribute. So we got 28, 7 times 4, 28, and then 7 times 3i become -21i. We are done with this. We move on to here. 5i times 4 give us 20i times here. That's where the I square is going to come in there. So we got -15i squared. The middle is of like terms. This is negative. This is positive. We realize that the negative is bigger, so the answer have to be negative. So -1i. And then we write 15. Write our 15. And the I squared is -1. So we got 28. Our I plus negative times negative become 15. Now we add it here. So we bring it 28 plus 15 minus I. And here give us 43 minus I as a final answer. So we have 1 plus I all squared. So we have to repeat it twice. So 1 plus I, and then 1 plus I. We set it as FOIL 1. Take the whole of this, and then plus I. Also take the whole of that. Then 1 times 1, 1. Okay, so 1 times I give us I. Then when I times 1 give us I. And then I times I give us plus I squared. So we got 1 plus 2I. And here becomes, we know that it's negative, so it becomes -1. And this cancel this. So here we got I squared as an answer. You can also use Pascal's. If you remember Pascal, we have 1 and then we have 1, 2, 1. Okay, so here, if we remember our Pascal's, we can use the Pascal's principle, Pascal's triangle principle to do this one. It's of second degree, so we're going to use the coefficients of 1, 2, 1. So 1, 2, 1, and then this 1 here, we'll take all of it, so times 1 squared, then you bring your plus, and then when we come here, it's times 1 and times I, have our plus here, and then here, just take all of it, so I squared. So here 1 squared is 1, so we got 1, and then 2 times 1 times I become 2I, and here 1 times I squared will become just I squared. Got 1 plus 2I, and I squared is -1, and this goes away, and that leaves us this. So you can also use a Pascal. If you know how to do it, and you'll get the same answer. All right, so we have this last one to do. If we want to use the Pascals, so the Pascals have a coefficient of 1 is a square, so 1, 2, 1. Then we take the 4 and they get all of this 1. So we bring here, and here we distribute. Here we have the 4, and we have the negative I. We bring the plus, and here this times negative I, take out the square. So here 4 squared is 16 plus 2 times 4 we got 8, and then times negative I give us negative 8I. Can bring our plus here. Negative I squared become positive I squared. Then we gonna get 16 minus 8I, and here minus 1, and that become 15 minus 8I as the answer. If we want to use our old way to do it, we could have set it up as 4 minus I, and then 4 minus I repeatedly, and then 4 times 4, 16, 4 times negative I give us negative 4I, and then this give us the same negative 4I, and this negative becomes positive. That we got this the same. We combine the like terms, and here plus I squared, and this become -1, and this come minus, so it become 15. That give us same. Please subscribe and like it, and see you in the next video. Stay blessed.